A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Second and 5 now. Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Jackson. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Denzel Ward right there in coverage to get the hand in. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Cleveland offense ready to go. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly?
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 30. And at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. And great effort. Does he get burned for that in film? He fought through some tackles. End result, though, a fumble.
It's going to be one of those situations where he'll get yelled at about the fumble, but at the same time get a check mark for the extra effort. And so it's one of those tough, tricky things for coaches. You don't want to coach it out of them so much that you take away the effort. You just want them to be conscious of taking care of the football.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Taylor now returning it. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets to...
There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Seibert on for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Jackson now, escaping the pressure right. They juked him and shutting him off. Now open field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
At the 46-yard line.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Now it's Jackson. Flushed out right. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Tucker's kick is good. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Even. 4 down. Even.
Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Looking deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Browns drive about to get started. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Check. Hey, alert 3. Hey, check 24. Up. Switch. I got it.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On second down, it's Hunt, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Mayfield to throw it. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. To return is Taylor. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Operating from the gun, Jackson. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing is Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. This is caught. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Jackson will keep it, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Mayfield now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Hey, alert, 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 alert! Alert, 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 alert! Real. Crack zone. Check safety. My God!
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 41-yard line. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41.
X3, 218, chop it. My God!
Now they try the right side here. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Set, 180. Go, go, go.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now they try the right side here. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And am I seeing this correctly? They brought out the field goal team here on 1st down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Hey, alert 33. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Hurry, hurry. Shit, shit.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. 2nd down and goal. Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Kenny Golladay, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Check 55, Mike. Bound to lose one. Kings, Kings, Kings. 49, check 49. 61, matchbox lights.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, Alpha.
To throw, Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Jackson forced out to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Marquise Brown was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Well, without question, when you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory.